Let's count down the top 10 best LEGO creations of 2023. Now, to clarify, these will be system brick-built models with a strong focus on construction, so constructible action figures. So anything that, is character or creature focused, that's what this video is going to be about. But that can also include things like mechs, all sorts of different stuff. This year has indeed brought out heaps of incredible system dioramas or spaceships and castles, but that's not really what this list is going to focus on. Now, this list is also comprised of the thoughts and feelings of the community from people who sent me in submissions when I put out a call for submissions, but this specific list was made by me, so these are all my thoughts and opinions. But let's begin, shall we? We'll start from 10 and work our way to the number 1 winning spot. Let's begin. The number 10 spot, it belongs to the Northern Sand Tarakava, and this is built by Alex MOCs. Oh, baby, I enjoy this color scheme quite a lot. The striking and vibrant teal on the Tarakava, you're up against this diluted, scrappy color scheme of reddish brown, dark bluish gray, and dark tan on the dude that's riding it here. It's nice. The contrast is so impressive. And this character design too, it's really on point. A fearsome, tamed beast and a hardened rider that's ready to brave the deserts. It's an idea that never gets old. Now, in case you haven't realized it already, Alex has taken the official Bionicle set, the Tarakava, and reimagined it into a creature that looks a little bit more, raptor-like. It's a very fresh and different take, and sometimes deviating heavily from the source material is super exciting, and hey, sometimes getting very close to the source material is just as exciting. We'll certainly talk about that later in this episode. So the texture on the Tarakava is magnificent. We've got lots of these cheese slopes on the tail to form a very rough, almost reptilian scaled texture. Then the saddle with all these accessories, it really gives this MOC so much life and context, and you start to paint a picture of where this guy's traveling to, if they have these supplies, what kind of dangers are they going to brave, all that sort of stuff. Even the idea to put a few little stickers here as the perfect little finishing touch. Everything about this is just so awesome. It's a really incredible take on a classic set. Now for number 9, this goes to everyone's favorite character. It's Appa from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and this is built by Droid. Now, if you're not familiar with Avatar, you should be. It's a fantastic show. But this is what Appa looks like from the show next to the Lego model. And yeah, this is like a perfect representation of Appa. It looks just like him. From the arrow on the head to the proportions to the face design. Droid nailed this. It's literally perfect. The mouth even opens to reveal the tongue and the teeth. And once again, super accurate. Plus, look at this fur texture. It's just perfectly translated into Lego. Everything about this build is exactly as it should be. Nothing about this needs to be altered or changed. You can really see the time, effort, and dedication that went into making this look so good. Now, if you're sitting here and you're like, oh man, I wish there were some instructions to build this. There actually are instructions. Check the links in the description below and then check out Droid's social media. He'll have links to the instructions there. And while you're at it, give them a follow as well. Let's move over now to the number 8 spot, and this one goes to a MOC that is very different, but also very, very cool. It's the Fallen Angel, and it's built by Pierviv. Yeah, wow. So this build is based off of an actual painting, which is also called the Fallen Angel, and it was painted by Alexander Cabanel. And the painting depicts Lucifer, the fallen angel, hence the name. So the builder said that they really tried to capture Lucifer's look of rage and sadness. And yeah, they absolutely nailed that. The look of raw emotion that is being translated here is so cool. Also, it's great to see actual artwork being translated into Lego. It's not something you see every day, and you certainly don't see it done this well. And I mean, they're even using art techniques like shading. Obviously this MOC is primarily tan in color, but the areas towards the back are dark tan. This way it mimics shadows very nicely. It's such a simple but very effective way to do this. And honestly, I don't think anyone's building MOCs that look like this, that look this good, or that are using techniques like this. It's just breaking all sorts of new ground. This absolutely deserves this spot on this list. Plus, there's so many great part usages like hot dog buns for the eyelids, Bionicle masks on the chest as well as on the arm design to help create beautiful shaping. Everything about this is so well built. Up next now is number 7, and it's a builder that you certainly would have seen on this channel and maybe even on your television screens too. It's Jafer and their incredible version of Master Ugay from Kung Fu Panda. So here's a comparison image of Ugay and Jafer's MOC together, and once again, he nailed this look. He always does, but it's just really cool to actually physically see the two next to each other. The head design captures Ugay's charm and personality just perfectly. And heck, the idea of using minifigure helmets to form the eyelids, it's a simple but brilliant technique. And the way that Jafer has built this turtle shell is just phenomenal. It's always great to see how LEGO builders like Jafer translate curved surfaces into LEGO. And what a great idea to use those dark tan curve slopes and then build these interesting substructures and angle them slightly to get just the right look. Genius. Plus wrapping that with that cloth piece that appears as wings on this awesome Ninjago dragon set. Well, that was the perfect way to reflect the cloth that's seen on Ugay in the source material. Jafer does character design so well, and he just brings so much character and charm into his builds. This ranks among some of his best work. It's just so full of life and such a good translation of the source material. Let's step on over into the number 6 spot now, and this goes to a towering behemoth. This is Asura by Reganalian D's. Now, I had the pleasure of seeing this MOC in person while I was in Denmark, and seeing it really did confirm that this is a work of art. I mean, check out this high level of detail, like the ornamentation, the craftsmanship that has been poured into this build. Woo, it's good. There's plenty of chains and swords, and this just makes for exquisite decoration. The shape of the torso using animal tails and Technic panels. Everything is so well thought out and so brilliantly executed. Plus too, the high level of detail is just so fitting for a god character, much like this is. I feel like this is the kind of MOC that would pop up when you were a kid and you go on Google and you search awesome Bionicle MOC, and then you'd see something like this and just be totally blown away. I feel that same kind of childlike joy when I see this MOC. And that's special. Moving on up now to the number 5 spot, and this is built by a LEGO employee. This is built by Wes Talbot, and it didn't have a name, it was just called their LEGO build for October. So we're going to refer to it as that. This MOC has such presence. What an imposing and impressive build. I just love the way that they've crafted this head design, using gears for the teeth, and then war paint around the bottom of the eyes, and that pop of Keat orange on the eye itself. Genius. And so striking as well. Plus the look of this fur pelt that they're wearing on the top of their head. And they've even used this headpiece that came on the Sir Fanger Ultra Build Chima LEGO set. What a great part use to so effectively sell that look. Plus the shaping on the abs and the pecs and just all of the chest, it's masterfully done. The metal and the leather boots and the dark tan fur above that, all of that has been translated so well into LEGO, it all just looks so realistic. Well, as realistic as it can look for fantasy armor, but you get what I mean. I think though my favorite part might be this shield design. This green piece in the center here, it's actually the door on the Hobbit bag end set. Now the piece itself has this lovely wood texture print on it, and that's kind of the perfect way to make it look like a larger scale wooden shield, akin to other medieval weaponry that you see in the real world and in fantasy worlds. Such a clever part use, and just so impressive. Oh, and then the little bits of frozen ice on these plants, everything about this is just so well done. Wes really knocked it out of the park with this build. Number 4 now, and this one is extra special. It's called Tenebrous, the Umbral Rim, and it's by Tolerant Axe 97. Dang dude, this is an imposing build. Hundreds of spikes, skulls on the knees, eyes on the wings. It's like a beautiful Lovecraftian horror monster. Now, Tolerant Axe 97 is a master of layering LEGO bricks to look like organic, lifelike skin or really detailed layered armor. I mean, just look at that tan area on the torso there and how that leads into the tail. It's also well shaped. The head design too, it's wild and crazy looking. I love the fact that they've used a flag piece for the blue tongue. Very clever idea. The wings are great too. They're probably my favorite part of this MOC actually. Now the design, it blends very well with the rest of the style of this build, but it also looks very similar to the wings that are seen on the Harry Potter Icons Hedwig set. Now that wing design is brilliant. So seeing it adapted but modified a little bit here on this MOC, great idea. Honestly, there's just a lot to love about this horrifying beast of a MOC. This is some of their best work yet. And who doesn't love purple? It's time for the final 3, and the number 3 spot goes to a great MOC by Moko, and this is called LEGO Tantam Robo. So just the presence of this build is so impressive. It's got a real classic robot vibe to it. It's sleek, it's chunky, it's awesome. I really love this head design and the way this mouth has been done. It's using some of these LEGO bow tie or kind of collar pieces in white. These appeared in white on the CMF Alfred minifigure from the LEGO Batman movie, so a very clever part use there. But as cool as everything on this build is, this MOC really shines because of its posability. It's honestly the best and most impressive amount of posability that I've ever seen on anything ever. The amount of poses this can hold and the realistic look of these poses, it's exquisite. What makes this high level of posability all the more impressive though is the fact that this MOC is quite large. so it's able to also hold up its own weight as well as pose at the same time. And to top it all off, it can get into these poses and the armor still looks so compact and pretty. Often with mock building, it's a balance of sacrificing looks for posability. And it makes sense, you need open areas for the joints to be able to move and flex. There needs to be room for it to move, right? But leaving that extra space there, it might start to look ugly because you think, well, that would look a lot better if there was armor covering that area up. But if you want posability, you can't have that. But Moko made it look posable and pretty at the same time. That is incredibly difficult to do. Well done. Now for number 2. This goes to a brilliant recreation of SpiderGwen, and it's built by the builder known as SpiderGwen. Now they've captured the look of SpiderGwen in a totally flawless and perfect way. The proportions, the anatomy, the ballerina-like agility, it's all present in this build. The hood design and the mask are just mind-blowing. The way they've translated that into Lego bricks is a stroke of genius. I've seen all sorts of people attempt to build the head designs of all sorts of different spider-related characters. It is not an easy thing to do, but they did it well here, really well. The idea of using those triangular pieces that appear on the front of these Star Wars speeder bikes, angling them in a way to capture that face, so good. This is easily one of the best system recreations of SpiderGwen out there, and possibly one of the best examples of human anatomy translated into Legos. Just very, very well done. Alright, before we finish up with the number 1 spot, let's quickly discuss a couple honorable mentions that almost made the list, but are awesome in their own right. We have a mock built by Benjamin Anderson, and it brings to life the Ultra Beast Buzzwole from Pokemon. This is a brilliant and super accurate representation of this Pokemon. Now this was built as a part of a larger collaborative build, and honestly everyone in that collab did an incredible job at recreating each of their respective Ultra Beasts. But this one stood out to me as my favorite, and the way that they've captured the muscles on the chest, that incredible finger design, and then the use of modern construction headpieces in dark red on the legs, there's a lot to love here. And the next honorable mention is built by Zane Builds, and he's built a mech called the Chert Chewer. I've always loved the LEGO theme of Rock Raiders, and it's brilliant to see that striking color scheme represented on this mock. And anything built in the world of Rock Raiders is always going to be cool. Now, Zane has captured the look and feel of Rock Raiders perfectly. The mechanical details, that industrial feel to this mech, it's all stunning. These drill arms are awesome, and this huge chunk of rock that it's standing on is a really great way to display this. There's a nice energy to that rock piece as well. The sort of flowing lines of it, I kind of get the sense that this mech is like sliding onto that rock there. It's cool. I also love seeing some of these behind-the-scenes images that showcase the internal structure that keeps this thing stable. That in itself is really impressive. So this is a brilliant LEGO mech, and it makes sense because this actually won Best Mecha at Brickworld this year. Well deserved. Only a couple honorable mentions in this one, so let's get right to the point. The best system mock of 2023, the number 1 spot, it goes to Wormy World and his mock, Oni Lloyd. So this absolute beast of a mock is a creative and quite unique take on this Oni Lloyd minifigure from Ninjago. I love the idea of seeing a minifigure turned into a highly detailed construction character like this. That alone is a really great concept, but I mean, just look at this. The imposing face design, the cool hose belt and that Boba Fett cape piece, the organic look of this leg and arm design, that buff chest, everything is so awesome. Just looking at it is impressive, but when we get a little bit closer, it gets even better. The weapons, they're incredibly well crafted. The dragon head on this sword with the infinity stones for eyes, awesome. The curvature of this ninja star, the ball joint hilt on this scythe, wow. The clever part usages on this, they're insane. I've talked about this in great detail on a separate video, so I'll just cover a couple of the NPU or nice part usage that is here on this mock. For example, the head design uses a crab piece in tan to shape the mouth design and those fangs, and then you've got this hood piece that appeared on this minifigure, and it uses that hood to form the rough shape of the chin as well as the teeth that just border the bottom of the mouth there. Mind-blowingly cool. Wormy is a master of character design, and seeing the way that they've used pieces to build a character that looks so cool and so menacing, as well as how they've used pieces in just genius ways, this really is deserving of that number 1 spot. Everything about it is well made, and only a master builder could pull off something like this. So that's my list. Did you enjoy it? Were there any other character or creature builds out there that you think belonged on this list? Well, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Be sure also to check the links in the description below so you can see more from these talented builders. These are some of the best, so it's definitely worth giving them a follow, leaving a like, or commenting on their work. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy building, and bye for now.